Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be watching Channels TV, still on the matter of Natasha and Akpabio, Senator Natasha and Senate President Godwin Akpabio. Yes, my beautiful people, a lot has been going on media houses. A lot of reaction has been going on concerning this saga. My people, this one has come again to my table that the Senate has suspended Natasha for 6 good months. But why? Why? Because according to the news I listened, they said Natasha has filed this matter to the court and even presented the sexual harassment between she and Akpabio, and the Senate rejected it. They were even against Senator Natasha, which I don't really understand. Anyway, my beautiful people, I don't know what to say in this matter because I don't know why must they suspend her for 6 months. Normal. What I think in this matter, please guys, correct me in the comment section. What I think, since this matter is between two people and they have not found out the truth of that matter, as Akpabio is denying that he did not harass Natasha. Why Natasha is pointing accusing finger that yes, you did it, So before the judge says the Senate decided to suspend Natasha, they're supposed to find out and know the truth. Or they suspend 2 of them. They suspend Natasha and they suspend Akpabio. That's what they're supposed to do. But not just suspending only one person because you have power more than that person. Anyway, my beautiful people, I'm here with Shegun in Channels TV, where he will be talking with our honorable West Idahosa, where let's listen the opinion of Mr. Idahosa, what he has to say in this matter, if it is proper that they suspended Natasha. We will know. Anyway, my beautiful people, my name is Joyce Anyanwu. As you are watching this video, please drop in the comment section what is your own take on this matter. What did you think on this? What is your take on this matter? Did you think that Natasha is telling the truth or she is lying against Akpabio? Anyway, my name is Joyce Anyanwu. Please subscribe, like and share if possible for my subscribers. Thank you very much. For my returning subscribers, I love you so much. Thank you. And if you know you have been watching, you have not yet subscribed, please do me a favor to subscribe to this channel. Thank you very much. And click notification bell so that whenever I post a video, you will be the first to be notified. Anyway, my beautiful people, let's just listen to what Shegun and Mr. Idahosa, West Idahosa, have to say in this video. Thank you.
Let's jump quickly at our major conversation tonight. And there's been this debate on and on. Is it about seat in the real sense of it? The argument about now the suspension of Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. Today, just like yesterday, she appeared, she resumed plenary, and she appeared at the right chambers, her usual place of work. And when she did, she presented a petition this time around again against the Senate President, Godwin Akpabio. Let me allow you to listen to our petition of today.
A malicious obstruction of Legislative Central under the name Suberu Azamare Yakubu. And the petition is against the President of the Nigerian Senate, Senator Godwin Akpabio, for sexual harassment, abuses of office, and malicious obstruction of legislative functions of distinguished Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. So with your kind permission, may I please lay this petition? Because as you know, yesterday...
Is there any Is there any legal impediment?
On the subject matter, none, sir. None, sir.
Please proceed to lay the petition. Distinguished colleagues, Senator Natasha has a petition from her constituents, and she has also further confirmed before all senators that the matter in issue is not in any court of law. I have no reason not to take her word for it, so accordingly, the petition is referred to the Committee on Ethics, Code of Conduct, and Public Petitions to revert to the Senate in 4 weeks.
All right, that was how the petition today was laid before the Senate. There are arguments as to the technicalities about how the procedure of how she laid the petition and whether or not as a senator in your own matter, you can lay a petition or present a petition for yourself in your own voice by your own self. Well, there was another petition today about her, but written and presented from another person. Well, is that technicality or are those technicalities addressed in what happened today? Well, you know what happened yesterday afternoon when the Ethics Committee met, and at their meeting, they made their conclusions. Senator Akpoti Uduaghan did not appear before them, but they have presented a few prayers that one is now laid before the Senate. Let me allow you to listen to the chair of the Senate Ethics Committee when she presented the committee's report on Senator Natasha Akpoti Uduaghan.
Distinguished colleagues, the Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges, and Public Petition, having due deliberation of the matter as revealed by Senator Adeyemi Raphael Adaramodu, Senator Titus Tatenja Zam, Chamber staff, and the Sergeant at Arms, the committee recommends as follows. 1. That the Senate do suspend Senator Natasha Akpoti Uduaghan for 6 months for her total violation of the Senate Standing Rules 2023 as amended for bringing the presiding officer and the entire Senate in general to public opprobrium. 2. That for the Senate to consider lifting the suspension or to reduce the tenure of suspension, Senator Natasha Akpoti Uduaghan shall submit a written apology to the Senate before the reconsideration by the Senate. 3. That the Senate do suspend Senator Natasha Akpoti Uduaghan with effect from 6 March 2025 from all legislative activities forthwith. 4. That her office be locked up for the duration of her suspension and hand over all Senate properties in her possession to the clerk of the National Assembly. 5. That for the duration of her suspension, she cannot come or be seen within the vicinity of the National Assembly, including her staff. 6. That her salaries and allowances, including those of her legislative aides, be suspended and withdraw of all security details for the duration of her suspension. And 7, that for the period of her suspension, she be barred from representing herself to the public, locally and internationally, as a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. In conclusion,
presentation by the Senate Committee Chair on Ethics, the presiding officer, Senator Godswill Akpabio, then handed down the position. The prayers were read to the floor, on the floor, and the gavel went down, and not in Senator Akpoti Uduaghan's favor. Let me allow you to listen to the very much, and it's about 7-8 minutes long presentation and the prayers by the Senate President. But listen to the portion where the final prayer was read and the gavel went down.
Okay, because I thought I had 50-50. Let me make it 40-60. That for the Senate to consider lifting the suspension or reducing the tenure of suspension Senator Natasha Akpotiuduaghan shall submit a written apology to the Senate before any reconsideration of this case by the Senate. Those in support of prayer 2 say aye. Those against say nay.
No.
The ayes have it. Prayer 3.
Liberalism.
Prayer 3. That the Senate do suspend Senator Akpotiuduaghan with effect from 6th day of March 2025 from all legislative activities forward. Those in support of prayer 3 say aye.
Aye.
Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 4. That her office be locked up for the duration of this suspension, and she should hand over all Senate properties in her possession to the clerk of the National Assembly. Those in support of prayer 4 say aye.
Aye.
Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 5. That for the duration of her suspension, she cannot come or be seen within the vicinity of the National Assembly, including her staff. But this is normal. Those is
All right, those are how the prayers were being read, but immediately as that was happening, the senator had something to say before, just shortly before she left the chambers.
This injustice will not be sustained. The pursuit for justice.
Why they stop her? Why did
That's how
they
it
stop her?
went. That's how it went today. But let's get some legal perspective to it and some experience of the National Assembly operations. I'm being joined by a former federal lawmaker and senior advocate of Nigeria, Honorable West Idahosa is live for us here in our studio. Thank you so much indeed for joining us.
Thank you for
tonight.
having me.
I appreciate your time tonight, but give us an understanding. Has the Senate done anything wrong against Senator Akpotiuduaghan?
Well, to start with, I think that they have not just wronged Uduaghan, they've wronged Nigeria. The reason is simple. We all know that a few days ago, maybe 2 days ago or so, the court order was served on the Senate of Nigeria. The committee in charge of ethics and so on and so forth. And that there was proof of service. I mean, this was flying on the social media and everyone saw it. They got a substituted order to serve by on the Senate through the office of the clerk. This was done. And then, in spite of this, you didn't sit down, you didn't rush a committee report, and then the person who is accused and who was likely to suffer from a suspension order was not even present. And so, in one breath, there was no fair hearing. You never heard the other side, in line with the provisions of the Constitution, Section 36. In the other breath, you disobeyed flagrantly a court order. And then you turn around to say, oh, the judiciary is not strong enough, the judiciary should improve, when we are the very ones, by this behavior, undermining judicial institutions in this country. Honestly, if I were the judge and the appropriate applications are made before me, I will go very far to make that point strong. Now let's come back to the rules. They made so much noise about the rules. We wrote these rules.
Rule 60, Rule 40,
we
Rule
reviewed,
20. There are a few sections of...
We reviewed the rules in 1999. I was the first to lay down the reviewed rules. It was what I laid that I sent to the Senate for them to use. It's not changed. They just changed, increased committees, a few here and there. Now, the Senate President allocates the seat. The dispute arose from the allocation of seat. Now, once it is Senate President that allocates a seat and a senator complains about a right to a seat, it's a privilege because the right to be in the Senate is by election and a certificate of return. Do not forget, you and I cannot go there. So once he raises that point, it is a duty under Order 10, the famous Order 10 she was shouting about, of the presiding officer to have suspended all other matters. I consider that a very serious issue and taking her complaint and make a formal ruling. But if you watch the proceedings on that day, as the distinguished senator was shouting Order 10, Order 10, I already heard the presiding officer talking about prepare her for suspension. Review the tape. We've seen it. You were already preparing her for suspension. even before you
So
could.
was it fait accompli?
Oh yeah, it was completely.
They decided our fate even long before the ethics committee was even.
It was predetermined. And then beyond that, the question was, at the time they went to court, the issue was that there was a thinking, a suspicion that she might be suspended. That was why she went to court. If you don't stop them, they will do it. And then they did it in spite of receiving the order. Now, I said to them, they were wrong. Section 4, subsection 8 of the Constitution is clear. In the conduct of his legislative powers and duties, their conduct shall be subject to the judiciary.
So you can actually, another arm of government can stop the activities of another arm of government.
Look, can I just take it briefly?
So the judiciary, the court can stop the activities that goes on in the chamber. I imagine that the activities within the chamber, there is some level of immunity to the procedure and the activities of lawmakers within the chamber.
As long as the activities do not obstruct the due process of law. I mean, once a Senate is in session, it is carrying out legislative business. Whether it is about a seat, whether it's about a breach of privilege, whether it is about passing the law, whether it's about passing a motion, it's all brought down on legislative privilege. And so when the Constitution of Nigeria says that the National Assembly's duties shall be subject to the jurisdiction of the courts, shall, it means it. And that's why they run to court each time they are suspended. Chinda was there. Ndume was there.
And I was going to reference the case of Omar Agege. It was a rested case in the court.
Yes.
The case of Ali Ndume. They all went to court.
Dino Melaye.
Yes. These are cases that have been decided by our court. In that case, there is an underlying factor that the courts
have talked about.
For
example, most courts are of the view that you can't suspend a sitting senator or lawmaker of any legislative body for more than 14 days, interpreting the Legislative Powers and Privileges Act.
But so there is an establishment that the Senate or the National Assembly, when there is a quorum and there is a sitting, can suspend one of their own.
Oh, yeah,
established, by their own rules.
Definite.
But the court, as at the famous case of Senator Omar Agege, that you cannot suspend for more than 14 days.
Correct. And not only that, you can also not suspend without hearing the other party. Yeah. That was a violation.
Nemo Judas in
Kazaswa. You know that because the Senate President who allocates the seat and which was the course of action in all of this.
Well, Senator Uduaghan, Akpoti Uduaghan did not make herself available to the Ethics Committee.
Well, the point will be whether or not she was in court, because I understand she filed an action and she was probably present in court. So it will also depend whether there was a proven means of proof of service on her. Because if you have a fear about you being endangered by a given institution and you approach the appropriate institution for redress, you are most likely to pursue the processes to the attention of the executing institution.
But let me ask you this fundamental question. The women folk, the gender, the female gender, has been under critical spotlight in politics, in this case of Senator Natasha Akpoti Uduaghan. As a former lawmaker, if this kind of case comes up, what do you think is best? Because as anyone that is above the age of 50 and is in politics and is in governance and is in leadership, will assume some level of reasoning and wisdom in handling this kind of matter.
Yeah.
Don't forget that Senator Godswill Akpabio is a very good friend to Chief Emmanuel Uduaghan, the husband to Senator Akpoti Uduaghan. There is a family connection. Yeah. There is a friendship that is is in question here. Do you think this matter could have been handled in a better way?
Well, definitely, because the Senate President is the interpreter of their rules. So in interpreting the rules, you have two obligations. You have to be compassionate, and at the same time, you have to be humanistic. Remember, we are dealing with human beings. And then you must recognize that the world recognizes the endangered nature of female politicians. And that's why you've had affirmative action, you've had the Beijing Declaration. All of this is...
Does it look like Senator Natasha Akpotiuduaghan stepped out of the line? If there is a rule that you cannot speak if you're not sitting on your chair, even when you have a legitimate reason to protest, and there are cases that are, the presiding officer himself in the 8th Assembly, we showed a video of how he agitated when he sat in a place where there was no microphone. So he agitated. But shouldn't she have also obeyed first by sitting in the place and then protest later? Well, the case of, say, obey the rules that were made by your own colleagues. Agree to.
No, but don't forget that even in the reallocation of seats, there is a notification. I am aware that text messages are either sent or a publication done. So if you didn't get any and you suddenly come to the Senate on that day, and some para-legislative staff I'd say, no, man, you can't stay here. This is where you are going to sit. As a member of the Senate, you are not a slave. Remember that. Part of what qualifies you to remain in the Senate is that you were elected. So the right to speak as a senator is guaranteed. The right to protest is guaranteed. So you cannot be talking about sitting on the seat, which is the subject of action.
We've seen 3 months suspension. We've seen a few months suspension, but this 6 months. What a lot of Nigerians might not know tonight is that it's not 6 calendar months. It is 6 legislative sitting months, days that we're counting. Meaning that almost 8 months or 9 months.
Oh yeah, it will extend far beyond.
She will be out of work.
Far beyond the calendar month.
What do you think of that?
Well, I think what she will be doing, I mean, what that means is that a state of the Federal Republic, Kogi State, will be denied the right to equality of representation in the Senate. The Senate is a special body. It's made up of 3 senators per state, regardless of the size of the state. And there's a reason for that. So each time this happens, you deny Kogi State the right to a vote. And so I think that regardless of the political parties to which she may belong, the government of Kogi State should intervene and express a reservation, because it will come to a point where one vote will matter and Natasha will not be there. And that's key. It's key. So that's why it's not just about Natasha. It's about whether or not Kogi State, as a component state of the Federation of Nigeria, is denied a senatorial vote.
How damaging is this for the reputation of the Senate under Godswill Akpabio?
Well, I think the most damaging is the blazing disobedience of court order. It is very untenable for a lawmaking body.
But there are very senior lawyers there. You have the Senate President, who is a lawyer. You have the majority leader, who is also a very respected senior lawyer. And do you think they would have flagrantly disobeyed court orders if they probably had considered something else that you are not saying? Let us say.
Well, you know, the truth is, power is an aphrodisiac. Legislation and the business of legislation it smells of power. So sometimes they may oversight the law, in the sense that they are dealing with primary interests which are also underlined politically, whether we like it or not. And politics is about who gets what, how, and when. So if they had made up their mind to suspend this senator, nothing else for them will matter, not even a court order. So their seniority in law will probably not be counted on this occasion. But for us who are outside, who are observing, who are practicing, we will not fail to say no. Before many of them, we were there. So we would tell
Can this be corrected?
Well, for me, the way to correct it is there are 2 ways. One, to hold a special session and rescind their decision, or the courts to step in and order and not suspend the senator, because it was done in flagrant disobedience. So once the lawyers file the appropriate action, we know that a mandatory injunction can do this, and I urge these lawyers and our lawyers to take the move, make the move.
Can Godswill Akpabio fix what has come like a dent on his leadership of the Senate?
Well, that may take some time, but it can carry out immediate emergency repairs, which will be do the right things, win some folks, and then hope over the period, make some good laws for the good governance of our country, work on some real nice policies. Maybe the country.
A lot of women are not happy with him.
It's understandable, because it takes a woman such a long journey to get to the Senate. How many are there?
All right. Honorable Wetsid, also for some good reasons, I like thank you so much for saying this.
I appreciate
your time.
Thank you.
And the legal.
Beautiful people, welcome back to the channel. Yes, wahala be like bicycle. I don't know what to say in this matter. The way they gang up against Natasha is just terrible. It's just terrible. As a woman, I don't really like this. All of us, we have been watching all this video. The only person that I have come across that is talking so possible, I say possible, so positive, sorry. The only person that is speaking so positive about this matter is this Mr. West Idahosa. Since I've been watching videos concerning this matter of Natasha and Akpabio, you can even hear when he said that before Natasha even presented her position, they have already concluded on how to suspend her. How? As I earlier said from the in the beginning of this video, that how can you suspend somebody that is having a dispute with the other person? You suspend only one person and you leave the other person, and we can see, we even watch where all of them were ganging up against Natasha, even of the other senator bringing a position where she was as a minister before and bringing it into the Senate again to remind Akpabio. My God, this is just terrible. This is injustice. It's not just good at all. It's not just good. It's not just good. Can you imagine? Suspend, according to what this Mr. Honorable West Idahosa has said, that they just suspend her, and it's not going to be that 6 months, so it will be up to 9 months. And just to look what they did to her, they suspended her with all her benefit. They withdraw all her benefit, everything. Then how is she going to cope? How is she going to live? How is she going to, for even not hearing from her own side? They didn't even allow her to express her feelings, to speak what matters. They just suspended her like that. My God, my people, this is really, really injustice. It's not fair. It's not fair at all. It's not fair. It's not fair. So if they just wanted to say we will use her, that is what is just ringing in my head. We are going to use her as a scapegoat so that other women will learn from that. So which means in this matter, what has been happening now, even though other women have been facing this harassment, nobody will boldly come out and express his own feeling, or express what men has been doing to the women in the society. The problem is that, you see, Africa, we have to stop in this women's slavery, because I know that this is a slavery, because they believe that she's a woman, she don't have voice, she don't supposed to say, she don't supposed to talk. That is why you see everybody is oppressing her. And the worst part of it, even the female that are supposed to be supporting her in Senate, the few that are in Senate, they are still oppressing her. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm just so emotional. I just pity this lady. I pity her. I pity her. They don't even want her to say anything. Everybody, we watch, even when everybody was even against this lady. Anyway, thank God for Mr. West that still came out and said it's not proper. That they did not even wrong Natasha. They wronged Nigeria as a whole, because they're supposed to look into this matter and judge it accordingly before they will suspend Natasha. And secondly, why must they suspend Natasha without suspending Akpabio? Because Natasha accused Akpabio. So this matter is supposed to be between two of them. Two of them supposed to go down, and the other people will step in and look into this matter before they will come and say, okay, it's true. Okay, now they have suspended Natasha now. So at the end, if they find out that Natasha is telling the truth, or she has right or is her right, what will they do? Are they going to dismiss Akpabio from Senate, or what are they going to do? Which I know that it will not be possible. It will not be possible because all of them, they say what will happen in future. You will start to see the sign when is where you will start to see the sign in the early stage of what will happen in future. Anyway, my beautiful people, what did you guys think about this matter? Please drop your opinion on this matter. I just tired. The thing, I just tired. I just pray that God should just straighten that lady. God should just give her the courage. God should just, if she's telling the truth, God should just help her. That is the only thing I have to say in this matter, because it's not fair and it's not nice. Anyway, my beautiful people, drop your opinion in the comment section. Please, what do you think about this video? Subscribe to this channel, like the video, yes, share if possible. Click at the notification bell, guys. Click at the notification bell so that whenever I post a video, you will be the first to be notified. Thank you very, very much for always clicking to watch my video. My subscribers, thank you. My returning subscribers, thank you. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you very much. My name still remains Joyce Anyanwu. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye for now.